ain't trying to sway you cause I ain't got all the answers. I'm just trying to convey to you, I be taking some chances. If my shit don't pertain to you, you can check out your man shit. You ain't teach us a damn thing, you ain't give us the game. We was giving you signals, but you ain't give us a lane.
Hi, welcome to another episode of I Don't Have the Answers, but let's talk about it anyway. I'm your host, Tim the Answer Man 4, and I want to thank you very much for joining me. When I was little, I used to enjoy hanging out with my grandfather so much. And it wasn't just because it was something we were doing or going somewhere or I wasn't getting something. It was just watching him interact with everyone. He was everybody's friend. He was the I know a guy. If you're sitting there somewhere, anywhere, and you're like, man, I really wish that I knew blank. He's like, I know somebody who could take care of that. And I don't care what anybody else says, he was social networking before social networking was even a thing. But with him, it was different. It wasn't just collecting a bunch of different people to use them in some way or another. Each of the links and each of the connections that he'd made was something that he would continue to grow. It was something that he took pride in. So if you were sitting there and he recommended someone to you for something as small as mowing your grass or to change out the screen in your patio, he knew that when you said, hey, I got your number from Ernie, the person on the other end of the phone was going to be like, oh yeah, what can I do for you? How can I help you? Because he grew that relationship. Today, every time I read something about a network, a social network of some sort, it's always about the quantity of the connections, the number of people you have in your network. And it's more of those law of averages kind of thing. Like if you have 500 people in your network, there's bound to be at least 100 of them that are good, solid connections. Not with my grandfather. Every one of them, people in his network, were solid connections. Because he took the time to grow those relationships and connections. It wasn't just about connecting a business card on day 1 and hoping that on day 572 that they're going to remember you. It was more than that. It was deeper than that. And I like to think that today I am following in his footsteps and doing the same thing, because it's not just about those once in a while kind of connections that help you out if you need them in a pinch. It's about creating that kind of relationship with somebody else that goes 2 ways. Maybe even 3, maybe 4 or 5. Anyway, it's not just about calling them when you need to move a couch or when you need something. It's about checking up on them every once in a while and doing a welfare check. It's about talking to them about things more than just whatever it is that got you interested in them to be a part of your network to begin with. It's about sharing a little bit of yourself with each of those members so that when later in life somebody calls upon them and says, hey, Tim sent me to you, they have a little bit of that personal relationship there so they can, oh yeah, Tim, great guy. I'll be more than happy to help you out. And I find that today our relationships that we're having, our networks that we're building, have nothing to do with growing those relationships, growing those connections. It's just acquiring them for later to be used. Today I implore that everybody take stock in their networks to reflect on the people that are in it. Are they true members of your network, or are they just acquaintances that you happen to collect along the way? I was talking to a friend of mine named James earlier this week, whose brother has a business that a mobile detailing business, and he was thanking me for supporting his brother. And it was really became second nature to do it because it was just the right thing to do, to support one another. And I said, we all stand taller when we all stand together. And it's true. We can accomplish so much more if we just come together. And it's not just about what you can get out of the situation. Help one another. Take the time to be proud of one another. If you see one of your members of your network, one of your friends celebrating something and being happy for something, don't interrupt their celebration. If they call you and say, dude, I had a great time at work today, I got promoted, and do not stop that flow. Don't get in the way of it. Share with them. Be a part of that celebration. You don't want to be that guy that in the middle of them being so happy, you have to say, oh yeah, that happened to me. I did this, did this. Then all of a sudden you just took all that wind out of their sails, all that happiness, all that joy, and you threw it away. Nowadays, there's so little to be happy about. Don't do that to your friends. Don't do that to people that you count as members of your network. When they are celebrating, you celebrate. You reach out to them when you don't need something. And when they're suffering, you lift them up. They're not truly members of your network. They're not truly members of your family, of your squad, whatever you want to call them, unless you're willing to go through the muck with them and help lift them up. Chances are, if they're really good friends, you're in the muck with them, but that's beside the point. That's for a whole nother episode. What I'm saying, people, is that we can build a better network if we're willing to grow the network we have. And when you collect those friends, the best reward that you're going to get is when you help them out and you share them with someone else to be part of their network. Now, I could be wrong. Hell, I'm going to talk about it anyway. Thank you all for your time. I appreciate you, each and every one of you. I know that I say this every time, and I say this so many times. I can't do this without you. You are truly a part of my network, whether you know it or not. Just being able to sit in front of this camera and speak my mind helps me every single day. I couldn't do it without you. Thank you all, and have a wonderful weekend.
The boy is off Broadway.
Worldwide shit.